What is democracy? Democracy is a form of government in which power ultimately rests with the people. At its core, it means that citizens have the right to participate in political decision-making, most often through voting in free and fair elections. More formally, democracy is characterized by several key principles: popular sovereignty, the people are the ultimate source of authority; political equality, each person has ideally an equal say in the political process; majority rule, with respect to minority rights, decisions are made by the majority, but fundamental rights of individuals and minority groups are protected; rule of law, everyone, including leaders, must follow the law; protection of fundamental rights and freedoms such as freedom of speech, assembly, religion, and press; accountable government, elected officials are accountable to the public and can be replaced through elections. In practice, democracies can look quite different from one another. Some are direct democracies, where citizens vote directly on laws and policies. Most modern states are representative democracies, where citizens elect representatives to make laws and govern on their behalf. At its best, democracy aims to balance collective decision-making with the protection of individual liberties and justice. The Democratic Party is supposed to be progressive, but they often take the measured, institutionalized approach. Why? The Democratic Party talks progressive because it reflects real progressive pressure from parts of its base, but it acts institutionally and incrementally because belief in the advocacy of change by degrees and gradualism. So they take baby steps to try to change what needs to be changed right now. Democracy is nothing but a big coalition, a group of different groups getting together for a particular cause or aim. And so therefore, I can see why we have so many problems. But the thing that has been getting me is that the Democratic Party is supposed to be progressive, and it comes from a deeply divided race culture, economic and foreign policy culture. Now, over the decades, it's become identified with civil rights and social, supposed to be liberalism, but it's never fully transformed into a European-style social democracy or explicit leftist party. I don't see why it would have to be European-style social democracy, because that's the problem with it right now. Now, gradual change often leaves corporate interests, wealthy donors, and entrenched systems largely intact, so that means they're ineffective. This can feel like the party is choosing comfort for the establishment over justice for marginalized groups. It doesn't feel like way, it is that way. Grassroots activists and left-wing figures like Bernie Sanders and Ms. Cortez push for transformative policies. Many elected Democrats, however, prioritize staying in office, protecting vulnerable members, and maintaining institutional stability, leading them to adopt more measured approaches, such as Hakeem Jeffries. I was motivated to do this because I watched on TV as the Democratic Party had a closed session, and it was supposed to be closed, but we have some videos of what happened, and what it turned out to be was one group trying to correct another group because they thought that they were not acting with the proper decorum and according to party lines. And that person who thought he was going to correct Miss Crockett found that he was wrong and that he should have went to play ball in another court because he was outclassed, okay? But this is the problem. Hakeem Jeffries seems to be a man that could represent so many different groups. Just looking at his name, it'll tell you that, you know, his parents gave him a name that was culturally more fitting for him than others who have European names. But he chooses not to put his whole name down there. And, you know, another thing is, I noticed that he was a corporate lawyer before he got to be in politics. So that right there tells me that he has been actually trained by European tutors, schools, mentors, and everything else. And so you can easily lose yourself in that process. And I think that's what has happened to him, because he doesn't want to rock the boat. And now, you know, they're going to tell everything about black people and their money. So, you know, now he's worth, in over 5 years, they said his wealth has increased to $9 million. Now, I'm not going to tell you that mostly everyone in Congress or the House of Representatives is a millionaire. So, you know, it's no big deal. But what we're seeing is that they would rather protect their position than actually do their job. And I read this about a democracy because I wanted the people. The people are supposed to be the true power. But now it has seemed like what we have done is the people that fight for us are fighting out there alone. And we just stand by and let things happen. We don't support people like Jasmine Crockett. You know, I thought I heard something the other day about her having to speak to Ibrahim Traore in Africa. And of course they gave her something like they always do, like they gave that black Marine general, something scripted so that, you know, they could actually tell Burkina Faso what they wanted them to do. And she pushed that on the side and she told the truth. And, you know, that was a very touching moment because they always get blacks to do the dirty work, okay? And we usually bow down to their demands. And we are doing it right now because we know right now the president acts like he wants people to swear to him instead of the Constitution. Now, he has orchestrated what I think is ingenious, even though I don't think he is a genius. But judicial branch, legislative branch, and executive branch, all controlled by more or less him. The only thing he needs to do now is prioritize getting control of the military, and we have a king in place. Okay? But he's made some mistakes lately, and hopefully they're sinking. Now, he's asked for people who are going to stand, military people who are going to stand and protect him or be in his company while he is actually speaking, to pledge allegiance to him. Now, I know most of us, and that goes for all public servants, military, and everything else, when they swear, they don't swear to a president. They swear to the Constitution, and the Constitution is a flawed document as far as black people is concerned. But no man am I going to be swearing allegiance to. Now, as the true power of government, we as a people need to stop looking and accepting what people are doing to us and support the people that are trying to defend us, okay? Because right now, the home of the brave look like the home of the weak.